Hello, I'm Annette Young and welcome to the 51%, a show about women reshaping our world. Coming up, with women bearing the brunt of Ebola, Caterina Vitozzi reports from Liberia on how life is far from being easy for those who actually survive the deadly disease. Also, women in India fight back as they come up with creative ways to combat sexual violence. And Fast and Furious. We take a look at the women who got behind the wheel in the sport of motor racing. But we begin in West Africa, where it's been 1 year since the World Health Organization officially recorded the first Ebola case. Since then, the disease has gone on to kill nearly 10,000 people and affect many thousands more in Liberia, Guinea and Sierra Leone. Now, after months of struggle, Liberia is just weeks away from being declared Ebola-free. But its impact is still far from being forgotten, especially among women who've been disproportionately affected by the disease, as they tend to be the caregivers. Caterina Vitozzi sent through this report.
Bendu Nale is 35 and an Ebola survivor. She caught the disease whilst caring for her sick nephew. Bendu recovered but says the stigma of the disease remained.
Even we were selling at the market, people started rejecting us. We shouldn't go back to the market because they fear that we still have the disease, we could share it to them. So people started losing their jobs. Even they were not accepting people back to go to work.
Bendu has found help here, a free vocational training school for women who've beaten Ebola. Liberian health officials estimate that 3 out of every 4 Ebola victims have been female, because they tend to be the ones who care for sick relatives.
Today is our day of practical. Whatever we learn during the week is now that we practice them. You see, like this class is the beginner's class. They are fixing their own weave to put on their hair, like this one you see. I said, let's see this side.
Emilia Sisse started the school.
What are you doing? Oh, this is the longer turf.
Housed within a disused building, Emilia funds the project with her own wages and charitable donations. She's a nurse at a local ETU and saw firsthand how difficult life was for female Ebola survivors.
Let's see this side. So when a woman comes from ETU, her condition is worse than a guy, because the woman will have to face a new life. Some of them cannot even bear the stigmatization that they go through. So those are the people we need to look for. They're not just donating and giving them things, but empowering them to make them do something after all the donations have ended, so that they will be able to be self-sustained.
The Ebola survivors are taught basic trades alongside women who've not had the illness. The majority here never finished formal high school. Since opening in February, more than 600 students have come for training. Ebola has left nearly 60% of Liberian women out of work.
At the end of the program, some of them have the opportunity to open their own salon. Those that doesn't have opportunity to end up applying to a salon to work there, or they stay home and do their work home.
The repercussions of the Ebola epidemic are still felt everywhere, but these women are determined to work towards a brighter future.
Now to India, which is still reeling from that vicious rape and murder of a young university student in December 2012. Her brutal death ignited a global debate about the nation's treatment of women. And just recently, 2 women's powerful rap message addressing sexual violence has gone viral. Mixing between Hindi and English, the 2 from Mumbai rap about female infanticide through to sexual assault. Let's take a listen.
We're now known as the land of rapes. But did you ever wonder how this took shape? Don't shy away now. You're a part of this culture of lawyers who will kill and politicians who ban our will and all the other blood-sucking vultures.
We're a land of ironies, of rampant misogyny. Stop that tweet and actually get up on your feet and help reform this mindset that for years has been preset that women are nothing more than objects to be controlled, shut up and used for sex. No boy learns some respect.
Certainly a creative way of getting the message across. Now Romain Tovry and Surabhi Tandon take a look at how other women are fighting back against a culture that turns a blind eye to sexual violence.
This video went viral in India a short while ago.
You're asking for forgiveness. Why? Because I'm a girl and you have the right to touch me anytime, anywhere you want to.
Viewed almost 10 million times in just 1 week, It shows a young woman publicly humiliating a man who attempted to sexually assault her.
Why did you do that? What did you think? I will keep quiet.
I made a mistake. I made a mistake, madam. I made a mistake. It was a big mistake.
You think this is a mistake?
I'm a father of a girl, but I have...
You are a father of a girl with this audacity. I pity that girl.
While the number of women standing up against sexual harassment in India is on the rise, it still remains a tiny percentage when compared to the number of attacks they encounter. Public humiliation may have become one way to bring attention to the culprits, but the path to justice is still a long way off. The brutal rape and murder of a girl in New Delhi in December 2012 still rings fresh for those who use public transport.
It hasn't changed at all. Not that it's gone worse. Maybe it's gone down, but very, very few cases must have gone down. My mother keeps telling me to carry a pepper spray in my hand all the time, which I do. I have one in my bag.
Faced with the slow process of change, more and more women are seeking out ways to protect themselves should such situations arise. Having escaped an attempted rape, Usha created the Red Brigade in 2011. Since then, her association has been mobilizing women to stand up against the violence faced by them in everyday situations. To this effect, they provide self-defense classes for all.
Every hour, somewhere or other, there are between 5 and 10 women who are assaulted. If they don't know self-defense, they can become victims of rape. Women are very strong mentally, but they need to learn to defend themselves. Our goal is to provide them with both mental and physical confidence.
Prompted by the large number of incidents of violence against women, several Indian states now provide self-defense courses in schools as part of the curriculum.
If someone bothers me when I'm on my way home, I can protect myself. I've learned how to hit someone in the right way and how to escape if someone grabs my hand. I'll tell all my friends about it so they can also learn to protect themselves.
Many women are also keen to break out of patriarchal attitudes that constantly differentiate women from men. Shano does this as a female cab driver in a profession that is otherwise dominated by men.
As soon as a man sees a woman driving, he'll overtake her. It's almost as if they feel challenged. It's as if they want to say, "Are you trying to be equal to us? Let's see how you manage that."
For the moment, the assertion of her equal rights remains an everyday battle. Meanwhile, a cab service for a female clientele attempts to make the city safer for women by women.
Delhi is not a safe city for women. There have been several cases of assaults in taxis, so I really like this service. I prefer to take taxis for women because I feel safer in them.
Where state responses to providing more safety to women have failed, private companies and associations are attempting to fill in the gaps. Meanwhile, more and more women are gearing to take matters into their own hands, and the men better watch out.
And finally, it's been dubbed the Grand Prix of Speed and Endurance. The 24 Hours of Le Mans is one of the world's oldest sports car races, held in the western French town every year since 1923. Now, over the decades, dozens of female drivers have got behind the wheel, despite its status as a male-dominated sport. One of them is Belgian driver Vanina X, who took France 24 reporters for a spin.
Hurtling down the racetrack at 200 kilometers per hour, Vanina indulges her need for speed on the circuit used in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, motorsport's oldest endurance race.
The adrenaline, getting to the limit of adhesion, getting to know my own limits, the car's limits. It's always exhilarating.
Although now retired, Vanina is just one of many women to have competed in the race in recent years. And there's no difference between men and women when it comes to the track.
Passion has no gender. That's all there is to it. When we're passionate about something, we're able to move mountains, whether you're male or female. At the end of the day, when you put on that helmet, we're all equal in the race against the clock.
Racing is in Vanina's blood. She's the daughter of legendary racing driver Jackie Ickx. In the 1960s, he won the 24 Hours of Le Mans a whopping 6 times. In 1974, 6 female drivers got behind the wheel for the competition. Among them was Christine Beckers in her Inaltera Ford, a vehicle no longer manufactured. The former speed queen is reunited with her racing car at the Museum of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. She says today's racing champions have it easy.
There's a big difference compared to the time when I was driving in the Inaltera. That car had a manual gearbox and no power steering. It was very difficult to drive, impossible to maneuver. It was physically much harder.
In the history of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the number of women signing up for the race has gone up and down. Today, more and more women are keen to take part. Over the last 5 years, female drivers have achieved some of their best results, including Vanina, who placed 7th overall in 2011.
And that's it for now. If you'd like to comment on what you've just seen, you can head to our Facebook page, that's France24.51%, or do send us a tweet at _51%. Thanks for your feedback so far, and please keep those comments coming in. Until our next program, bye for now.